Listen, in the hush of the night, two small things, a slow breath, the hush of oak leaves, the low crackle of a far-off hearth. Imagine your shoulders lowering, softening, as if a warm cloak has been laid across them. There is no hurry here. The path into the garden is narrow and moss-lined, and every step you take makes only the quietest sound, a soft whisper of leather on stone, the faint scuff of wool. Let your breathing match that soft, slow step, in and out, in and out. The gate into the garden waits half open, rusted but patient. As you pass through, hear a thin bell of water, a dripping from a stone basin, counting slow, easy moments. Notice the sky through a slit of moon above the battlements, deep and steady, like a sleeping eye. The air carries scents that feel like memories. Rosemary that smells like sunlight held in leaves. Sage that breathes a calm into your chest, and rue with its soft, peppered hush. These are the plants kept by the castle's healer, small, practical things, chosen not for show, but because they help mend a tired body and soothe a worried mind. Let that thought settle, like a pebble sinking into a quiet pond. A gardener moves along the low beds, fingers gentle as a lullaby as they tuck in a sprig of lavender. He wears a worn tunic, and the lamplight makes the dust motes in his path glow like slow, soft stars. His steps make no sound that disturbs the world. He seems part of the breathing of the earth itself. Watch how his hands cup the soil, how the soil gives back a warm, contented sigh. As he tends each plant, the light seems to follow a companion of hush, not a glare. Feel your own hands rest easy at your sides, heavy and trusting. There is a bench by a low stone wall, cool under the moon. Sit there for a moment, imagining the moss pressing a faint, comfortable pattern into the back of your robe. The bench cradles you as if to say, rest a while. Above, the castle's windows are dark, and even the banners are still. Somewhere, a cat slips like a shadow between tiles. Notice the sound of your breath again, softer now, like lantern glow, breathing, a slow rise and fall. With each breath, let your limbs go quieter, like leaves that stop trembling in a still night. The gardener hums a small, simple tune, a melody so soft you almost feel it more than hear it, as if the air were singing under the notes. He pauses as he waters a circle of herbs, and the water makes a tiny, steady percussion against the stones. Rain, long ago, taught the earth to breathe. Now this small watering makes the same patient sound. Let that steady drip measure out each slow heartbeat within you. One drop, one breath, one drop, another breath. With each measured sound, imagine a gentle warmth spreading from your chest down through your arms and legs. Like ink staining paper, slowly and evenly, until your whole body reads the quiet. Under a trellis woven with apple shoots, a small lantern throws an amber pool of light. In that pool, you can see the gardener's hands at work, smoothing soil, tucking in roots, whispering words that may be old as the stones. He speaks to the herbs, not to hurry them, but to keep them company, a practice that has always been part of tending, gentle and unhurried. The herbs seem to lean toward the sound, as if listening makes them grow. Think of your own breathing as a kind voice that keeps you company, soft, steady, unpressured. Each breath a line of gentle speech that says, you are safe, you are held. There is a small, round plot where chamomile tumbles like soft stars. Its scent is a woolen blanket for your mind, and you can feel it brushing away the edges of thought, that bite and worry. The gardener bends, and his touch is like a benediction. Brief, reverent, enough. Above, the castle's old stones hold warmth from the day and release it slowly, like a deep exhale. Let your mind take that warmth and keep it, letting small cares loosen their grip, like ivy uncurling from a brick. Along the path, a low fountain sings a tiny, continuous song. Watch the water as it catches the lantern light, how it steps down and curls, never rushing, only moving in soft, sure arcs. Your thoughts may wander, that is permitted, but each time they drift, return your attention to the fountain's patient music. Let the rhythm guide you inward, below the surface of busy thinking, to a warmer, quieter place. Your eyelids may feel pleasantly heavy now, like curtains that have learned to fall. Trust that heaviness. It is simply your body being ready for rest. The gardener offers you a small cup, pressed from clay, warmed by the hearth that lives beyond the garden wall. It is filled with an herbal tea that tastes faintly of honey and sun-warmed grass. Take the cup in your hands. Feel its gentle weight. Bring it to your lips and imagine a single quiet sip. The warmth spreading through your mouth and down your throat like a tiny, pleasant secret. The warmth flows into your shoulders, loosening them, then into your belly, smoothing and softening. Each swallow is a slow, careful step toward deep rest. From across the garden comes the hush of a hearth, a low, comforting crackle. Imagine that sound like a cradle, rocking at the edge of hearing, bringing each small ache and worry to the surface and letting the fire whisper them away. The gardener lights a match for a small brazier, and the glow feels like a heartbeat, steady, unhurried. Let the brazier's light match the slow rhythm of your own pulse. Feel how the small heat settles the mind, as if each thought were folded into a blanket and placed gently away. The moon moves a little, and with it the shadows slide like warm ink across the garden. You follow that movement with only the softest attention, like watching sleep itself approach from across the room. The air tastes faintly of lavender and wood smoke, and every inhale brings more softness. Imagine your breathing becoming deeper and easier, like slow waves pressing gentle kisses along a quiet shore. Each exhale releases a small sigh, a letting go. Allow those sighs to carry away any remaining tension. Now, the gardener steps back and looks toward the castle with a slow, kind smile, as if remembering some safe, old thing. He closes his eyes for a moment, and in that tiny pause, the world feels complete. You feel complete here too, held by the stones, the herbs, the slow music of water and ember. Let your body feel as if it is sinking, not with heaviness that worries, but with contentment that rests into the bench. The moss supports you kindly. Your heartbeats stagger softer, like a lullaby slowing at the end of a verse. In the deepest hush, the garden seems to breathe as one, the plants drawing in the night and releasing a quiet that settles like dust motes into the hollows of your limbs. Picture a silver thread of moonlight drawing a line from the top of your head down the length of your body, and with that silver thread every small worry slides gently off and falls away, dissolving into the soft earth. Your jaw unclenches, your tongue rests heavy and calm in your mouth. Your eyelids, if they are not closed already, know the kindness of closure now. The gardener whispers a last sentence to the plants, a blessing that sounds like a breeze, and turns toward the little gate. He walks slowly, and the sound of his steps grows small, then smaller, until the night keeps its silence again. Remain here for as long as you like, breathing the garden's hush. If you choose to leave, you will carry this quiet with you. If you choose to stay, the garden will keep you like a soft secret. Either way, sleep is waiting like a patient friend, very near. Now, with one more gentle breath in and out, allow your thoughts to soften into a slow, pleasant blankness. Let the images of the herbs, the water, the brazier, and the gardener's calm fold down like pages in a book. The rhythm of your breathing and the slow music of the garden will keep time for you as you drift, rest, and let the night do its careful work. Soft, whispered note, this script is shaped to guide you gently with slow pacing, sensory detail, progressive relaxation, and metaphor techniques used in therapeutic sleep and Ericksonian-style storytelling to ease the mind toward rest. Softly now, breathe in one gentle, easy breath, and let it go. Feel the garden hold you like an old, steady hand. Our story today continues where we left off, beneath the castle stones and the hush of herbs, where night moves in slow, velvet folds. Imagine the moon slipping a little farther behind a cloud, and with that movement, the world seems to exhale. Your shoulders sink a fraction deeper. Your hands rest, warm and still. The gardener's figure becomes a small silhouette that blends with the stone, and the lantern's light becomes a soft pool that the air itself nods into. As you sit, the scent of rosemary drifts close again, as familiar and gentle as a remembered song. Picture the rosemary's tiny green leaves, each one shaped like a whisper, collecting the moonlight and letting it go in a calm, cool breath. The gardener moves with a slow, patient rhythm, and that rhythm is now yours too. Reach with your imagination to tuck a stray curl of chamomile back into the earth and feel the motion mirrored in your own fingers, slow, considerate, and unhurried. Each small movement is a lullaby for muscles that are ready to let go. Hear the distant, even murmur of the castle stones settling, a chimney exhaling, the soft echo of boots that belong to someone else's memory. That sound lives beyond the garden gate and keeps nothing pressing in this quiet place. Let those further sounds be like distant, safe waves, reminding you of sameness and steadiness. Allow them to be background to your breathing, a steady, unremarkable drum that steadies the heart and invites the mind to float. Look now at the herbs, each one like a small friend in the dark. Sage, with leaves that seem furred and warm. Thyme, low and small, like brave little sailors hugging the soil. And rue, curling gently with an aromatic hush. Imagine the texture of sage as you pass your palm above it, so soft it feels like the inside of a well-loved book. The gardener leans down and brushes his fingertips over a row of thyme, and the scent lifts like a faint bell, delicate and clear. Let that scent guide you inward, toward a place where the mind is free to drift without obligation. As the brazier releases a faint, contented glow, shadows deepen into soft pools around the garden's edges. In these pools, tiny insects might hum, and the faint sound is like a shush that tells the world all is as it should be. Hear the pattern of that hum and let it smooth the edges of thinking. If a thought arrives in ordinary worry or a small curiosity, greet it as you would a neighbor, kindly and briefly, then watch it walk down the path and fade. You do not need to hold it. The garden is wide and there is always room to let thoughts go. The gardener brings a small hand-stitched blanket, folded and simple, and lays it across the bench beside you. It smells faintly of sun and wool and the same herbs you tended. When he tucks the blanket around your knees, the motion is quiet and precise, like closing a page in a book. Feel the weight of that tuck as a gentle promise. Warmth where there is cool, a soft boundary between waking and dreaming. Your legs relax under the blanket's gentle press, as if each muscle is a small instrument slowly tuned down to rest. Now the gardener speaks. Not to fill the air, but to place a calm presence. They're just a few hushed words that sound like moss being smoothed. He talks of small, ordinary things. The way dew gathers on spider silk. How apples will hang heavy and list when autumn comes. How the castle bell has a way of making even hurried thoughts slow. Each sentence is a soft pebble dropped into a glassy pool. The ripples are measured and calming. Let those ripples touch your mind and smooth it from the forehead down through the temples and behind the eyes. Muscles there loosen, and your forehead unfolds like a curtain. With slow, deliberate care, the gardener traces a circle in the soil with his finger. A small, private compass that marks the garden's heart. Imagine that circle as a place where all the day's small tasks are set down, as if each little worry, each undone list, has a spot to wait until morning. Picture yourself placing your own small pebble, maybe a thought or a thing into that circle, and watch it sit, content and harmless, until the sun returns. The act of setting it down feels like a sigh that travels through your chest and settles into the belly, warm and loose. Above you, an owl's soft, slow wing beat stirs the air, touched only faintly by the moon. Its movement is a private lullaby for the night. Imagine that wing beat in time with your breath. Inhale as it lifts, exhale as it lands. Each cycle carries you further from busyness and closer to stillness, like a boat drifting toward a gentle shore. You notice how quiet your thoughts become in the spaces between breaths, and you welcome that quiet as a friend who brings a blanket and sits without asking. The gardener reaches for a small, smooth stone and warms it gently in the brazier until it holds heat without flame. He places the stone in the hollow of your hands. You do not need to lift them. The stone will find your palms by their own weight. Feel the warmth spread from that stone outward, to your fingers, to your wrists, up along your arms, like a slow, comforting tide. With the warmth comes a small, pleasant heaviness, a soft grounding that keeps the body rooted while the mind floats. Allow that warmth to travel down to your feet, to the soles, and imagine your whole body held in a cradle of slow, content heat. Now, the gardener hums again, a tone so low and steady it almost becomes a current under the words. Imagine that hum turning into something like a pattern: 3 gentle notes, then a pause, 3 gentle notes, and a longer pause, soothing like waves that breathe in and out. Let your breathing find that pattern as if it were an old song you remember without trying. Each pause lengthens a little, and in those pauses the body relaxes further, like a hand letting go. Time bends softly here. The particulars of schedules and mustios are gentle things that will wait. The castle keeps its quiet watch while the garden does its slow, patient tending. Your eyelids know the path now and may feel the gentle tug of closure. If they close, let them close like curtains on a small, cozy room. If they are already closed, notice how much softer the world has become. Either way, allow the warmth and the hum and the small steady breath to guide you deeper. Before the gardener goes, he leans close and shares a tiny, whispered story of how the garden came to be told, as if to a sleeping child and to a friend alike. Long ago, he says, the castle's stones were bare and the nights were thin. So someone planted seeds with hands that knew sorrow and hope in equal measure. Those seeds carried both the memory of rain and the promise of bread. They grew into a place that mends small hurts and tells quiet truths. Hold that story like a small charm in your heart, the knowledge that gentle tending heals and that rest is part of care. And now, with one last, slow breath in and a long, lingering breath out, feel the whole garden's hush folding you in. The water's tiny song, the brazier's warm heartbeat, the gardener's patient hands, they all become part of your steady, sleeping rhythm. If dreams come, let them be soft as moss. If they wander, guide them like a lantern back to the path. Sleep here as long as you need. The castle and the garden will keep watch. When you are ready, let your final breath drift away and know you are held. Good night, under the castle's stones, in the garden that keeps its quiet like a secret. The garden sleeps around you now. Every herb, every leaf, breathes in the moonlight. There is a kind of music here, though no instrument plays it. It's the hush between drips of water in the fountain, the faint murmur of roots shifting beneath the soil, the almost inaudible sigh of stone cooling from the day's warmth. Let yourself imagine that the earth itself is breathing under you, deep, slow, ancient breaths. You can feel it through the soles of your feet, through the bench where you rest. That slow, patient breathing invites your body to match it, in and out, in and out. With each exhale, your chest softens, your shoulders loosen, your hands open slightly, palms upward, as if catching the stillness of night. Somewhere, a low bell sounds from the upper tower of the castle, one gentle note that trembles in the air like a memory of sunlight. The sound lingers, fading slowly into silence. The medieval monks who once lived here would rise to such bells, but you, dear listener, need not rise for anything. Tonight, the bell is not a call to work or prayer. It is a lullaby, reminding you that time can slow, that not all hours are meant for movement. Let that thought drift through you, that rest is its own sacred act. The gardener returns for a moment, his lantern haloing him in gold. His face is calm, lined like soft bark, his eyes kind and half-dreaming. He kneels near the lavender bed, brushing the petals with a tenderness reserved for old friends. You can almost smell the lavender more vividly now, fresh, sweet, and a little wild. Imagine it seeping into your breath, calming the nervous flutter in your chest, steadying your heart until each beat feels deliberate and serene. He hums a tune older than the castle itself, an old villager's melody passed down through countless winters. The melody has no words, but you can sense its meaning, that everything that grows rests, that everything that rests grows again. As he hums, you notice tiny motes of dust in the lamplight, turning lazily in the air. They look like tiny sparks of life, like the world's quiet breath made visible. Each one rises and falls, spiraling slowly, and your thoughts follow their dance, lighter, gentler, softer, until thinking itself becomes too much effort. It's easier just to feel. Now the gardener sets the lantern beside the brazier, and the two lights mingle. They cast a warm amber glow that trembles like the inside of a seashell. The fire gives a slow crackle, and with every soft pop, a tension in your body releases from your neck, from your back, from behind your eyes. The warmth moves down your spine like honey, thick and slow and comforting. Outside the garden walls, the wind moves softly across the hills, stirring banners that hang above the castle gate. They flap lazily, like sails on a sleeping ship. You can hear it faintly, that long, low rustle, and it feels like a blanket being pulled just a little higher around your shoulders. The gardener walks toward the stone archway that leads deeper underground, where barrels of dried herbs are stored. As he goes, the faint glimmer of his lantern catches the outlines of carved patterns in the walls, ivy stars, tiny curling dragons, forgotten by time. These carvings are from the early builders of the castle, artisans who believed stone could listen. They whispered blessings into every curve and leaf they chiseled. The walls here, they say, remember. You reach out with your imagination and touch the wall beside you. It's cool and smooth. You can almost feel that ancient intention in it, the wish for safety, for home, for peace. Let that wish echo into your own mind, settling like warm sand through water. Somewhere deeper, a small door creaks open. A faint draft flows through the garden, gentle and cool, carrying with it the scent of the river beyond the moat. The breeze lifts the leaves, and they shimmer softly, silvered in the dim light. The sound is delicate, a slow wave passing through the herbs, like a breath of sleep itself. You may feel now as if you're drifting to, not walking, not even sitting, but floating quietly in the garden's air. You are no longer separate from this place. You are part of its rhythm, its breath, its gentle stillness. If a thought comes perhaps from your day, perhaps from long ago, imagine setting it down beside the herbs. Watch it turn into a petal, or a leaf, or a droplet of dew, and let the night take care of it for you. You have no work to do here, only to rest, only to breathe. The gardener lights one last candle on the low stone altar near the fountain. Its flame bends and dances, painting faint gold across the water. He bows his head for a moment, not in prayer, but in gratitude. Gratitude for the soil, the air, the night, and for your presence here. He knows you are part of the stillness now. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. The candle flickers, and as it steadies, you feel that same steadiness echo in your breath. The flame becomes a single point of focus, a small heartbeat of light in the quiet. With every breath, it grows softer, dimmer, warmer, until it feels like it's glowing inside your chest instead. And now, even the sound of the fountain begins to blur. You can still sense the water's slow rhythm, but it fades into the background, like the sound of distant rain. Everything in this garden, the herbs, the stone, the moonlight, seems to hum together in harmony, a single note of peace that stretches on, until it feels endless. Let yourself sink into that endlessness. There is no more story you must follow, no image to hold, only warmth and breath and quiet. Sleep if you wish, dream if you drift. You are safe in the garden beneath the castle. The earth holds you, the night keeps you. And when the dawn finally stirs the air, it will do so gently, with kindness and with light. Until then, rest, sweet traveler. The garden will guard your sleep. Good night.